Alright, what's up, guys? This is a quick update about Raja Jackson and his current situation. So, from what I can tell from Google AI mode, the most recent information says that Raja Jackson's been charged with one count of felony battery causing serious bodily injury and one count of misdemeanor battery. So, for the potential sentencing, due to a sentencing enhancement for causing great bodily injury, he faces up to 7 years in state prison if convicted. Now, if he ends up serving that 7 years, that would be great. That'd be a pretty sufficient sentence for his actions, I believe. But hopefully, it doesn't get reduced too much. And hopefully, he does end up going to a real prison and not one of those rich people prisons. I believe where P. Diddy is and Tekashi 6ix9ine is, the president of Venezuela. They get put in places where they're not really in danger from the general population. So hopefully, if he does go to prison, he goes to a real prison. And as far as the court proceedings, he pleaded not guilty to all charges during his arraignment in October 2025. His last scheduled court appearance was a preliminary hearing in late November 2025. So that's what we know so far. That's the most recent updated information available on him. And if you need a reminder about what happened, he attacked Psycho Stu, also known as Stuart Smith, during a wrestling match, during what was supposed to be a scripted interruption by Raja Jackson. But he turned it into a selfish act of violence and unsuspectingly just attacked Psycho Stu. By instead of performing wrestling moves or false blows, actually slammed him with the intention of hurting him and then fired 20 unprotected punches to his head and chest before being forcibly pulled away. Didn't even stop on his own free will. If he had not been stopped, chances are he would have continued to rain down blows to the unconscious man, elderly man, Psycho Stu. And as far as the injuries, Smith suffered a fractured jaw, a lacerated lip, and several lost teeth, and spent several days in intensive care. And what I can find as far as civil lawsuits, because of course, if you're someone who's wishing for justice to be served, right? Aside from the prison sentence, hopefully Psycho Stu gets financially compensated. And since Rampage Jackson got an attorney for his son, Raja, I'm guessing that he might also fork over the money in a potential civil lawsuit. But I don't know how much money his son has. His son might have his own money. Obviously, not to the extent his dad, Quentin Rampage Jackson, might have. But what I can find here is that potential targets for a civil lawsuit, Stuart Smith could pursue civil damages against both Raja Jackson himself for the assault and also against wrestling promoters for failing to provide a safe environment or for allegedly scripting Raja into a segment without proper training. So hopefully those civil lawsuits are pursued on his behalf or on his own, and he gets money for his pain and suffering. And then I read over here that aside from the bodily injuries that he suffered, you read here, and it's kind of heartbreaking. This was just it wasn't a fight, it was just an attack on an elderly man. And remember, this guy said he did wrestling because he was a veteran from the military, and he had PTSD from his service time, and he pursued wrestling to help him cope or deal with his PTSD. But as a result of the attack, his friends and reports have indicated that Smith has retired from the in-ring professional wrestling due to the extent of the damage. So that's pretty heartbreaking. So here, more specifically, you can see the injuries he suffered. Wow. See, I know when I watched the video, he was unconscious for a while. And then if you recall back to that kick clip of Raja Jackson after what he did when he had left the facility, he was on the phone with I can't remember his name at the moment. And the man on the phone said that he was still unconscious. And you can read here that Smith was unconscious even once he arrived at the emergency room. So this man was unconscious for a long time. And he suffered a fracture to the maxilla bone, the upper jaw, as well as trauma to both the upper and lower jaws. He lost several teeth, suffered a deep laceration to his upper lip, and early reports indicated he choked on his own blood and teeth while unconscious. And he suffered potential damage to his veins and arteries in his neck. So, when you see videos of people asking Rampage, "Oh, how's your son doing? Oh, is your son okay? Oh, you got him attorney. He's good." Right? These people, I've seen videos of people sounding so concerned for Raja. But just, you gotta remind yourself the condition this elderly man was put in, unsuspectingly. It's horrible. Anyway, I had to cut myself off for a bit because I started getting into the events itself. And that's not what this video is about. It's just about the update on the legal situation regarding Raja Jackson and just going over Cycle Stu's injuries and an update on him. So that's it for this video. And if any significant news regarding the legal situation comes up, then I will make a part 3. Well, it will come up. So when it does come up, I will make a part 3 regarding that. So go ahead, share, and subscribe so you don't miss it. And catch you later.